Hi there, I'm Ian Holmes from Technology Strategy Board. I've only been there officially for 5 weeks, so if you've got any issues of them dating back further than that, I know nothing. We were name checked by a number of this morning's speakers as TSB, so that's us in full and not the bank. Okay, who are we? I'm guessing a significant number of you will have heard of us. Is there anybody that's not come across Technology Strategy Board at all? Okay. Basically, we like to call ourselves a UK innovation agency. We're an arm's length governmental body. We control a lot of the funding that goes towards innovation in the UK. We work with businesses, universities and government agencies and organisations themselves. The people that work for Technology Strategy Board generally have a business background. We're not all born and bred civil servants. Most of us have actually worked in industry or in research in a previous life and have ended up working for TSB to drive the innovation programmes forward. And TSB itself is responsible for investing about £350 million a year in innovation in the UK. Basically, what we want to do is stimulate and support business-led innovation in order to accelerate economic growth. Universities and academics can apply for the money that we have to offer, but they normally have, they have to do it in collaboration with business partners, because our main priority is upskilling UK businesses with the tools and the knowledge to be innovative in a global market. And we look at the academics as the ways of providing and supplementing the knowledge that the businesses don't necessarily have in-house. We've got sort of 5 strategic focus areas. One is sort of the journey of a business. We've called it in one of our plans concept to commercialisation. From when you have that light bulb moment and you come up with a new idea to actually making money from it. Those of you who have done it will know that it isn't a straight journey from A to B. It's a wiggly road with lots of bumps in it, and what we want to do is make that a smooth journey. You may, certainly by the end of the day, you will realise that the innovation landscape is quite complicated, and we hope to help people find their way around that. Another thing that we're kind of almost doing in the background more than anything is turning government action into opportunity. So we make things going on behind the scenes within governmental departments, such as the NHS and the MOD. We're getting them to think on ways that they can actually start bringing UK businesses into their new technologies and new ideas. We invest in themed areas, which I'll explain a little bit more in a minute. And also we're constantly reviewing what we're doing and making sure that we're providing a service fit for the business environment in the UK and helping people move forward. So as I said, the journey, the new product development journey, the business journey, it's not straightforward. And we want to make sure that the support we offer to businesses is useful and easy to understand. And some of you will have applied to for UK grants back in the DTI days where we sort of sprung out from, and probably over the last 10 years you've applied for various Technology Strategy Board schemes, and hopefully you will have noticed that they're a little bit easier to apply for and a little bit easier to manage than they used to be. And again, that's part of our improving service, is we've responded to the feedback about all the paperwork generated and duplication of effort and stuff like that, and we've kind of trimmed it off. But unfortunately there's always going to be a bit of graft involved, because if it was dead easy everybody would do it, and we want people with the determination and the ideas to be the ones that go forward and demonstrate their worth. We also we specifically tailor our products to support SMEs, but we recognise that they have a role in the supply chain to larger companies. And again, that's been shown in some of the presentations by this morning's speakers. The big companies wouldn't necessarily be where they are without working with the smaller and some of the innovation coming out of the smaller companies to take them forward. So there's a role for everybody in these things. And we have a number of knowledge and innovation centres we've established, and organisations such as the Knowledge Transfer Networks or Knowledge Transfer Partnerships, and also innovation centres called the Catapult Centres in technology areas, again working with business to develop innovation. So the current landscape is difficult to navigate, and hopefully people like myself can help you find your way through it, join the dots and realise what your company needs, who they need to be speaking to, and what they need to be doing about it. And when we work jointly with the research councils, and we have an international unit that now works quite in depth with various organisations across Europe. And we've now recognised, when I was first involved in accessing Technology Strategy Board funding, and I worked in a knowledge transfer network, we didn't really do Europe. We knew it was there because you went there on your holidays, but we didn't really get involved with it. But now Technology Strategy Board is recognising that there are opportunities within Europe, within the funding programmes and the markets out there. So we actually have a number of tailored support packages for UK businesses and organisations to interact in Europe and globally. We're involved with the Science and Innovation Network, which are based in all of the British embassies across the world, and we also work very closely with UKTI around trade and innovation and various things like that, as well as working with Enterprise Europe Network and other organisations. So hopefully whoever did the presentation this morning did a good job, and I can whiz through these slides. Horizon 2020, it's a big pot of European money for research and innovation. The focus is on business, and it's all part of the economic recovery package. We want new innovations to be innovations, so not research and development like it used to be promoted a few years back. It's research and innovation, and one of this morning's speakers said innovation is when you make money from your inventions. And things are different. Some of the programs now, you can begin to make money during the life of your program. Under earlier European funded things, you had to leave a polite pause between the end of the project and the development and actually making money from it. That's not the case anymore. The sooner money comes in, the better. It's simplified. People that have just filled in forms of Horizon 2020 for the first time may not believe that, but if you go back to earlier European funding programmes, it is much more simple. And to give you an idea, things like the time to grant, the time from when you actually submit your proposal, which you can do electronically now. You no longer have to send 6 hard copies by courier to Brussels. It's 100 days faster for you to get your money. And you think how long it was taking beforehand if they can make it 100 days faster. It used to be a pretty laborious process. Again, hopefully this morning it was explained, the calls for funding proposals are launched in specific work areas. You can't just write your own thing and hand it in. It has to be addressing a specific area that the Commission are looking to fund, much the same as it is with a lot of the funding in the UK. We have this 3-pillar structure: excellent science, industrial leadership, and what they've called societal challenges. The National Contact Point Service, we generally deal with the pink and yellow bits. There are other support available for the academic community, specifically in the excellent science area. But we tend to be involved in the industrial leadership and these societal challenges. Again, the way the system's been set up is different to previous ones. There's no more development of technology for technology's sake. The societal challenges will have things like helping ageing population be self-sufficient in the future, or the area I deal with, which is the one with the longest title, food security, sustainable agriculture, forestry, marine, maritime. There's a big thing in there to do with, if you actually simplify the title of the call for proposals, it's keeping horses out of burgers. And it's responding to a challenge that we've realised that there are significant issues in our food chain and our food security, and they need to be addressed. So these are the topics that will be in there. I've got a very well thumbed copy of a work programme in my bag, which I can show people if they want to see detail, or equally you can contact me and I can send you information. So there's more funding and there's more variety of funding than there has been before. Again, I think this morning's speaker mentioned the thing called the SME instrument, which is targeted specifically at small businesses, and that starts at €50,000 for funding. They've never normally funded European projects at that little before. So this is a real change in the way that they're acknowledging the benefits of working with SMEs from the early days and upwards. There is a massive emphasis on market impact, and again this is going back to the thing that they want the innovations to sell, they want them to make money and bring benefit, and when you're writing proposals, that is going to be basically the expected impact, and the market impact is judged at the same value as the technical aspects of your project. So if you have a technically brilliant project but no idea on how you're going to implement it and make money, then it will fail. SME participation, again, it's probably mentioned this morning. There's 20% of that 80 billion budget is for SMEs to take and do something with. You're very attractive as SMEs to all the other consortium that are forming, because there is a requirement for you to be involved in projects, and universities and larger industry will be looking for you in there. But equally, there has to be a role for you. The evaluators are now, and the commission are very wise to hangers on who've been stuck onto a project just because we need to have these requirements and let's get an SME from Barnsley or whatever. If there isn't a role for you in there, again, it will fall foul of the application process. But equally, you may well be the ideal end user or have a position within the supply chain that brings real benefit to the projects. I think this was covered this morning by a number of the number of the speakers on why should industry be involved. So I'm just going to skip through that one and that one, and talk about national contact points and what we do and why I'm here. So we're funded, or we are a team within Technology Strategy Board now. Previously, we've been hosted by different organisations and all done slightly different things. Now we're all working as one team, and we're providing support to UK organisations, predominantly UK industry, but we also work with academics and so on about accessing Horizon 2020 funding. We cover all of the yellow column that I mentioned and other bits, and we have a no wrong door policy. So if you asked me a question about ICT, then I would forward you on to the ICT expert. I wouldn't just say, sorry, that's not me. And equally, if you come to with a question that isn't quite about Horizon 2020, it's about something else, hopefully we can point you in the direction of somebody who knows. That's our website, and it will keep popping up all the way down, but it's fairly simple, h2020uk.org, and all of the contact points are on there. Okay, these are the ones which we support at the moment. I haven't put names against them all because some of them are changing and some of them are not yet in post. But again, on that website, it was constantly updated with the contact details. So we cover advanced manufacturing, climate action and resource efficiency, energy, inclusive society, food security and sustainable agriculture, which is me, health, ICT and emerging technologies. There's somebody who's a specialist in the legal and financial issues that you will come across. So again, if you phone me up and say, I've got this question, my partner in wherever it is wants this much funding, are they eligible? Or I had one this week saying, the proposal mentions that you should be working with people in China, but it doesn't say whether they can actually be funded or not. Then there's a man that will know the answer that we can put you in touch with. Okay, and again, there's the link So what do we actually do? It's a requirement for the UK to actually have national contact points. The Commission stipulate that basically we have to have them. There's kind of a list of activities that we have to do, and because we are told to exist by the Commission, we have access to bits of the Commission that you as applicants won't have. We work with the project officers within the Commission. We get involved in some of the programme committees. Again, it's a 7-year programme, but they've only really sketched out years 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. The earlier years, they fairly much know what they're going to be doing, but there's only sort of titles for the next bit. So they will be, as the earlier programmes develop, they'll be filling in the other bits, and that happens in programme committees. And we will actually get to sit within programme committees and give feedback from the UK experience of European funding and the programme so far, or issues that are happening, and hopefully put things forward for later in the programme to be funded, or to be open for funding. We have often, I've been involved with European funding and other sources since the back end of Framework 5. So we know our way around the documents and the processes, and we know the language that the Commission like you to speak, which isn't actually English, even though they tell you that it is, and understand the difference between thematic priorities and instruments and all the other things that you will see. And hopefully we can simplify them, so when you phone up or when we're at a meeting like this and you say, well, what does this actually mean? We can dispense the answer in plain English and help you understand, if it's for you, what you need to do to move forward. We do things, sometimes we will run our own proposal writing workshops, but equally we work very closely with organisations such as Essex County Council, universities, the knowledge transfer networks and the EENs who run events like this or similar. We will talk about proposal writing, top tips and things, although today's speakers actually gave very good presentations on top tips. We offer what we call a screening service. Again, most of us have been involved with framework or European funding for a number of years. A number of people have been on the evaluation panels, so we know what the Commission are looking for when they evaluate these things. So if you send your proposals to us at an early stage, we can match them against the call for proposals and say, well, yes, your idea fits with what the Commission are looking, make sure you focus on this. Or we can say, well, actually, they're asking for this, you're offering that, although you've tried to disguise it as this. I wouldn't really put it forwards like that. And we can do that pretty much any stage during your proposal, but if you want feedback you can act on, the sooner you get it to us, the better, really. It's no good sending us 2 days before the deadline, because that's not very realistic. We work with partner searching facilities, again utilising other networks such as the knowledge transfer networks and the EENs. And also we are linked in with all the equivalent national contact points in all the other European states. So if for some reason you specifically want to get hold of a German partner in this area, or you may even have their name but no way of officially contacting them, then we may be able to, through our German contact point, get you the right person to speak to that organisation. And we also get some feedback, again through these programme committees, on success rates in general for current funding bids. So for example, people who've submitted to a stage 1 application in certain areas, we have some information on what the success rate was for people applying for funding in a particular area, and not necessarily that much use to you if you were unsuccessful, but if you were actually successful, then it may give you an idea of how many people you're going to be up against for in your stage 2 and how much funding is to go around. And that's it in a nutshell. I'm happy to take questions. I don't know whether you want me to take questions now or later.
Good. Thank you very much.